it was flat, that doesn't make it flat. So he said, what do you think of American history? I said, it looked bad to me. Everybody did the right thing. And people don't always do the right thing, they make mistakes, and they didn't look real, the people in the history books. So I said, I don't accept American history. He said, what do you think about teaching methods? I said, terrible. He said, what's the matter with it? I said, teacher says that's wrong, but she never told me what was wrong. You know, words. So he said, I'm going to have to call your mother in. I said, do what you have to do. And he calls my mother in, she comes in crying. What did he do? He said, he didn't do anything. There's no place for him in our school. So she starts to crying, and what's going to happen to him? So he said, I'm going to experiment with him. I'm going to buy him books of my own money, not the school money, that he wants to read. Rope off the back of the class and let him read what he wants to read. And every week I want him to report to me and tell me what he's reading and why he's reading. I just want to see what happens. So my mother left crying. And he did take me to a bookstore. And I did pick the books I wanted to read. And that went on for 1.5 years. Then he died, and they took that privilege away. I never went back to school.
Can you give him a break for some water?
Yes,
It's on the
I have to
windowsill
change the
there.
tape anyway. Just a second.
I think it's on the windowsill.
Yes.
So that was my background. I wasn't born smart, right? All that bullshit. Or big gifted, you know.
Not much of a drink, so.
Or I received good vibrations from the divine.
Wait till the
From
tape,
the world.
Sorry,
wait till the
just wait
tape
a
comes
second,
in.
please.
Great,
It's good stuff.
I'm still taping.
Can I have a copy of this? I won't do
Of
anything
course.
till you do your thing.
You can do whatever you want. It's, of course. How can I get it to you?
I mean, all the things like this I've been wanting to do, but having other people do it is great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know, we can talk about that after.
yeah.
Yeah. Let me have
Should would you like to go on where you were? Or
the- Jacque, I'll take the water.
You just want to go on?
would you like to continue where you just
You
stopped?
started
or-
to say I wasn't born this way or to lead the
Let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
I wasn't born this way, it was my experience. But a lot of people thought that I was influenced by divine vibrations to help lead the world in a new... Well, that's an ego trip when a guy says, I'm here to do good. Well, everybody in those days believed they were here for a purpose, that God put you here to be a musician, to make life pleasant for people. He was an artist, to paint pictures, to make life... That God gave all these people different gifts. But I believe that the conditions I lived under gave me these values. And the conditions an artist lives under gives him those values. And a soldier who wants to be a soldier is a guy that sees a guy with medals, and the movies show the girl kissing the soldier because he shot down 10 airplanes. So people ascribe to their background. So I didn't look at them as good or bad, but I did look at the world as designing new background, new cities, new schools to teach kids what I'm talking about. Concern for their fellow man, to take care of the environment. And if you don't take care of the environment, if you poison the rivers and the lakes and all that, it's going to hurt people later on. Not immediately, but years later. And so I realized if you want a better world, you better get up off your ass, Jacque, and make it better. Do the best you can. Will it work? I don't know. If it works, good. If it doesn't work, you can kiss your ass goodbye. So the more you do, the higher the probability of it working. Especially if I speak to, say, 1,000 students at a university, I usually turn them around, and they usually go out and work at it. But if people did nothing, nothing would happen. It was Peter Joseph, that told me that 50 million people now know about the Venus Project. And that's good. The more people that know about it, the better the possibilities of the future. Okay? I don't know whether it'll work, but I'm going to do my darndest to make it work. And I hope you do the same. I don't know of anything else. I don't know if fascism, communism is good for each little country, but it doesn't bring them together. We have to bring them together. We have to find ways of reaching different kinds of people. When a guy says to me, "What do you think of Allah?" an Arab, I say, "Look, all that's good, but let's work on the whole world." And when a guy says, "What do you think of Catholicism?" Don't bother attacking religion, because there's so many religious people in the world that'll be fighting back. So say you'd like to see religion translated into a working system. Whereas a money system, it says in the Bible, don't lend money at interest. It's called usury. And all banks do that. So they're in violation of the teachings of Christ. All you have to do is work on religious people and tell them that it says thou shalt not kill, love your enemy. So don't go to war if you believe in God. So all I'm saying, the matter with religion is they don't do that. So don't bother attacking any organization. Just say it's great, but let's join together and make it great for everybody. But if you start attacking religion, you can attack the falseness of religion, that they bless war tanks and soldiers, and that's anti-Christ. Christ would never bless war tanks and soldiers. So work with religious people. Say you believe in God, that's good. Then I say, do you? Say, I'm not sure. Leave it alone and get on with the job of bringing all religious ideas to a way of life on earth. But if you say, if you bother attacking people for being members of the clan or having 10 wives, if you're brought up in that country, you'd have 10 wives too. That's normal to that country. Do you understand that? But normal people look at it, my God, how can you want 10 wives? You know, they can't understand that you could be brought up that way. They can't understand you can be brought up to be a headhunter. That's something I could never hunt heads. Sure, if you're brought up here, but if you're brought up in the Amazon jungle, you come out different. Do you understand that? Okay. So when people say, well, people have freedom of choice, they never had freedom of choice. An Indian was given a canoe. An Indian was given a bow and arrow. So you ask an Indian, what do you want? A good bow and arrow. They could never say, I want a twin-engine Beechcraft. They can't. Do you understand? So there's never been freedom of choice. If you go to Germany, you say, where do you want to live? You can live anywhere in the world. Deutschland. You know, because you get that pumped into your head continuously. And in America, believe it or not, continuously, what's the greatest country in the world? I don't know. The USA. Where did we get it? We stole it from the Indians. No, the Indians gave us a lot of trouble, and we established colonies all through the country. Never we killed 10,000 Indians to get Nebraska. We killed 50,000 Indians to get California. Never that. So history is manipulated so we don't look too bad. If you want people to go to war, you show German soldiers raping American girls. You understand? Always showed soldiers torturing, twisting the arms of Americans. You understand? That's the way you can build hatred. But a German would help an old lady across the street just like an American would. But when he goes to war, he's talking Amerikaner, he says Coca-Cola and cigarettes. That's all they know. So you get on giving them all kinds of bullshit and you build hatred. You understand? And the Germans will call crowds, the Japanese slanty-eyed bastards. So you got all of that hatred which has to be undone. Did you want to cover anything else?
Maybe. Did you go to any other schools later in your life for design or something?
Yes.
That would be interesting.
My mother wanted me to learn a trade, and she kept bothering me all the time. Learn a trade, learn a trade. So I went to school, and then when I come out, I tore up the diploma of the trade. You know, I told her not to bother me. I like doing what I'm doing, but I could not reach I didn't know how. That's more like it. I didn't know how to reach my mother. My father was neutral. I used to build model airplanes and radio control things, you know. With every cent I owned, I used